Hello, hello, hello. It is Samantha here of Samantha Sutherland Art and Books. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're a long time viewer, and welcome to those of you who are new. Just welcome. And I realise I have been away for quite a long time. There is a video that explains that. I won't bother recapping everything because if you want to see why I've been away for a while, what's been happening, I will link that video underneath this one. It goes into quite a bit of detail of what's been going on for the last year, etc., and where I'm up to. And I just thought it was easier to make a separate video so it didn't get kind of bogged down in this video, because this video I've got hauls to show you, news to share, and whatever else I fancy talking about, really. So I have my notes, I have my cup of tea, what's left of it, because it's nearly gone. If you can hear a noise, it's the fan. It's blinking hot. Absolutely boiling hot, and I hate heat. And I've got the fan on. So sorry, not sorry if you can hear the fan and you can see every so often it's wafting. It's too hot. I hate summer. I really hate summer. People always would always say to me, but it's summer, it's lovely, it's sunny, it's a great time to go out and blah, blah, blah. I'm a migraine sufferer whose migraines are kicked off by heat and excessive light, as well as a few other things, but mainly in the summer it is the heat and it is the light that does it. And yeah, my hair's tickling. I need a haircut, so that's why that's red. And yeah, I don't like summer. I like autumn and winter. My bones, my joints, they hate it. But I like autumn, especially because it's perfect. It's still a little bit warm. There's a chill in the air. All the trees are going orangey brown. And yeah, I like autumn. I love autumn. It's my favorite time of year. In fact, I have another channel named after autumn because I love autumn so much. Anyway, back to this one and back to what I'm doing today. So you will notice a pile of books here. Oh, first of all, I have 47 pages left of Flowers for Algernon. I am absolutely loving this book. It's made me laugh. It's made me cry a little bit. It's been quite sad in places. It's made me angry. I've nodded along. I've kind of thought, what douche lords? And when I've finished this book, I'm going to do probably a single video wrap up of this book. Probably, because I have loved this book. And I also need to get better at reviewing things, which for a book review channel, or for a book channel, you think I would actually review them. But if you look at my previous videos, when I've talked about what I've been reading, I've literally gone, I really enjoyed this. It was fantastic. And I don't want to spoil the plot, so I'm just going to say I really enjoyed it. No, I need to tell you why I enjoyed it. I need to tell you bits. And I will do spoiler free, unless it's a really, really, really like Dracula or Frankenstein type old book, because it's so old. Most, if not many, in the world have read it and they know the plot, and there's been films and there's been TV adaptations, and so yeah, I don't mind giving spoilers for them because they're so old. But yeah, things like this, I think, because it's only been around since I can't remember when this actually was written. I did find the date. I took ages to find the date because, well, it's me. It was like 68 or something. So it's a classic, but it's still, it's still relatively it's a classic, but it's relatively new, if that makes any sense. 1966. That's when this was first published and everything. But it will be spoiler free. But to say I've enjoyed that I slowed down because I just don't want to finish it, because I have in my head 2 ways it's going to finish, and I'm intrigued to see how it finishes, but we'll see. I think I will put my cup elsewhere because otherwise it's going to keep rocking the thingy. Right, so I was going to do sci-fi summer, but then I thought, well, I won't get very many books read, plus also I've accidentally decided to do Summerween to Halloween, but I'm going to do a very chilled way of doing it this year. Last year I read 2 books. I'm going to try and do 3 books, maybe, but I will be reading them alongside. So I'm more of a monogamous reader these days because my memory is so bad. However, I think I can manage 2 books at the same time because I'm listening to Audible as well. So I'm using Audible as well as these books, and I need to finish a couple. So I was going to call this Sci-Fi Summer, but I decided to call it instead Rammel's Recommendations 6 Months of Reading. I watch Rammel Broadcasting. I never thought I would ever do this, but I bought a sci-fi book. Actually, I bought it years ago, and I listened to everyone else who said, it's a rubbish book, don't know why you want to read it. No one seems to like the book. I have only ever been told the book is rubbish. In fact, when I was reading it, my father-in-law said, it's such a rubbish book. It's not a good one. And I said, oh, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And he was like, oh, okay. I did. I really enjoyed. And that was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the book that is loosely used for Blade Runner, which is one of my favourite sci-fi, cyberpunk sci-fi films, like, ever. My favourite all-time sci-fi film is War of the Worlds. I've loved that since I was a kid. I introduced my daughter to it. We've watched it twice together. Well, once together-ish, and then the second time she watched it all the way through, and she really, really enjoyed it. And my second one, which is kind of #1 for horror for sci-fi, is Ayling. I absolutely love that film. I went to the cinema to see it when it was an anniversary edition. But yeah, I really enjoyed the book of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I really, really did, and it didn't take me a huge amount of time to read it, and I read that because I was watching Rammel Broadcasting's channel. So I bought some books over the last few months-ish of all the books that he had recommended. And as I am about to go on a no-spend few months, because we are nearly getting the damp problem in our house sorted out. We have to get the garden sorted out as well. All this costs money that we're saving up for slowly, and me continuing to buy books is bad. Saving for house stuff, good. So I'm going on a bit of a book ban, for book buying ban. I may get like the odd couple that I would treat myself with. One is funnily enough, another one recommended by Rammel Broadcasting. It is A Wild Sheep Chase by Haruki Murakami. I watched his video a couple of videos back. I will link it below on where to start with Haruki Murakami, and I was going to start with Norwegian Wood, but the plot of a wild sheep chase just sounds really interesting. So that's going to be my last probable book buy for a little while. So back to 6 months of Rammel's recommendations. Rammel's recommendations for 6 months of reading. I'm not sure what the title's going to be yet. It's one of those two. In no particular order. Like I said, I'm a mood reader. These are the ones that really strike me, that I would pick up in a kind of fancy reading this or this or this. One of them is a bit of a wild card because, yeah, it just kind of is a little bit. So I did do a short. I was messing about with editing on YouTube, and I did a short, and I'm quite proud of my little short. I will link that below as well. It's got, at this moment, last time I looked, it was 41 views. 3 of them, okay, were mine. 1 so I could share the video, 1 accidental, and 1 so I could see what it was like. And my husband, bless him, he watched it too, so. And I did really like it. So without further ado, here's what I will be reading, hopefully for the next 6 months. These are the books that, actually these are the ones that I bought literally from his recommendation. So the first one is Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. I don't know anything about this other than guy was in hospital, Triffids come down, there's a light that sends everyone blind, and the Triffids try to take over. That's all I know about it. So I am looking forward to reading this, and I do love this cover. Look at the cover. And yes, I did. I actually bought another copy based on the cover of the book, which was really dumb because I couldn't actually read the text because it was so small. And then I chose this one for this book cover because it's lovely. And there are a few others in this style that I want to read. And this is a Penguin classic as far as I know. Yeah, there's quite a few I want to read that is in this style. So there's number one, or at least loosely number one. The next one I want to, well, the next one I have in my pile is George Orwell's 1984. Now these ones I mainly got off eBay through Awesome Books and World of Books. I got them all through those. So I got them second hand, and because I go through Top Cashback, I got cashback too. So yeah, I have heard this mentioned many, many times over the years, and yeah, I thought it's about time I read this one. So all I know is it is about the Ministry of Truth and how I'm guessing they must hide the truth. Not knowing a lot about this. These ones I can actually go in quite blind to, which is quite good. But this is the other one that he recommended. So this one I'll be reading as well. This is the wild card because it's apparently, I had no clue what this was about, but when I was buying the books off Amazon, even on Amazon, World of Books did buy 3 books, get 1 free. And I couldn't think of a free one, and then this one came into my brain because Rammel Broadcasting had done a review of it and he really liked it, and I was like, oh, and it's short too. This is quite a short one. It's like 170 something pages long. Yeah, 177 pages. It's a vintage classics. It's by Kurt Vonnegut. I hope I said his name right. It's I think maybe magical realism, sci-fi. There's World War II involved, and there's some sort of science fiction also. Not a clue, but I'm intrigued. This is the wild card. And I'm sorry about the light in here as well. First of all, it's bright, hot, sunny day. Second of all, I've got this thing up because me and my husband have been watching horror films during the day, and this was the cheapest way we could find to do it. So we put on this, I'm pointing, the side windows, we put more on, so it just goes really dark. It's great, it's like having your own cinema. The next one is Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. Now, I read Something Wicked This Way Comes, and I really, really enjoyed that book. And I have listened to the Halloween Tree I don't know how many times, and I want to get a hard copy of that. I love that one. That is probably my favourite Ray Bradbury that I have had a copy of in some form. So I thought, well, I really enjoy his writing. I think I'll read another one. So I'm going to try and get Fahrenheit 451 read as well. And I have read Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. Absolutely loved that. I watched the film, had the film on DVD for quite some time. That it made me cry. It really did. I absolutely found it absolutely beautiful and loved it. So this again was recommended by Rammel Broadcasting, and it just really kind of piqued my interest. It's about a robot named Clara, who's an artificial friend, and she's dumped. And I think is it Japan? And yeah, I found that interesting. The whole plot's that quite of an interesting one. So I thought, why not? Like I said, I got this one. Pretty sure I got this one off eBay through one of the book shops. I can't remember. So yes, this one shall be at some point read as well. I do want to read Never Let Me Go again. because I absolutely loved that book. And so I've got this one as well. So yeah, that is my 6 months of Rammel Broadcasting recommends. Because I just wanted to do something a little bit different, and summer, winter, Halloween, as I said, I've accidentally kind of decided to do that. I have to finish Stephen King's It, gone to see The Riverman as well. Those two are horror novels, obviously. So I want to try and finish them, and I want to read, I can't remember, I will place the book here somewhere. I can't remember the name of the book. I'll put it somewhere here. And if there's a jump in the video, my husband came home. He went shopping. He's back. And bless him, he's gone upstairs. It's really hot. I feel really bad now. So yeah, I was, as I said earlier, did I mention earlier that I was watching Sinead Hanna's books for Summer Winter Halloween list? And this book, Summer Camp for Slasher Victims, was on the list, and there was a couple of others that I was really interested in. Cloud in a Cornfield's one of them, but I want to read that in October, and I do want to watch the film, so I'm avoiding anything to do with the film at all. Apparently, the only thing I know is it's a slasher, obviously because it's to do with a clown in a cornfield, and it's horror and there's gore. That's all I know. I'm staying away from any information on that. I've got so many films to dodge any information on. Sinner, for instance, it's vaguely slightly been ruined for me because I know what's the nasty thing in the film, but that's all I know, and I do want to watch that film. But yeah, so I decided I wanted to read it, and I might do a Summer into Halloween finish and new start. Might call it that. It's a bit of a mouthful. Because I want to read that, and there is another one I want to read. I think it's Dead Spot, which are short stories by, I want to say, Angela Sylvain. If I've got her name wrong, I'm very sorry. I will double check that, but I've got her short stories to get through to read as well, which I'm looking forward to that. That's for another video though. I think I'll do a separate Summer Winter Halloween video, I think. But yeah, that's the idea anyway. I also bought, mainly for nostalgia, but mainly because it's illustrated by Quentin Blake, I managed to find a 1983 copy of The Witches by Roald Dahl, illustrated by Quentin Blake. I read this when I was in primary school. My teacher read this to us when I was in primary school. I love this book, and I haven't read it for a long, long time. And it's just the illustrations. I love the illustrations in this book. And it's something that I can pass on to my daughter for her to read. So this I got from a bookshop on eBay. I don't know which one, not a clue. And it was like £2.80, and it's free delivery. It might have been Awesome Books. I want to say Awesome Books, but yeah, it's hardback. It's still got its dust jacket, which I think is really cool. So yes, I am looking forward to with nostalgia rereading this. It's been such a long time, and I absolutely adore the film because my daughter said to me the other night, she said, I want to watch horror films for kids, and there's loads of them. The only ones I won't show her is, not yet anyway, is Monster House and Watership Down. If you've seen those films, you know. Yeah, I watched Watership Down when I was a kid. I was about 6 or 7. Every single time I watched that film, I bawled my eyes out. And also, I never noticed up until the last time I watched it as an adult. I sat there and went, oh, Kehoe just swore! The bird that they rescue, he swears! He swears! It's a kids' film! Anyway, he's one of my favourites. I also think it's quite a scary horror film for kids. They showed it at the Corner House in Manchester donkeys years ago as a child's special screening for toddlers and young kids. Unfortunately, I was too ill to have gone to the cinema at the corner house when it was on Oxford Road, so I could watch the children's reactions, as in them screaming the place down, probably, because I would have done at that age. I kind of did. But yeah, with some wonderful nostalgia, I'm going to be having a reread of this. So I've got a busy year ahead, which I'm looking forward to. But the Halloween, the summer winter Halloween one, I'm going to have a think of. And I do want to get involved with Shake-Tamba, but I may not this year. I don't know. I want to read Cymbeline, because I've not read that, but Nicole of Dave Small Things read that last year. So yes. I have been a little bit busy-ish. I went to see, for my birthday, happy birthday to me. I'll show you actually what I got for my birthday. My daughter bought me a cup, which I will insert picture because I've not got it in front of me and I would have been drinking from it, but my husband made me out of my favourite Shakespeare mug. But I will put a picture. It is on Instagram, so I'll put the picture somewhere here, which I'm in love with. I've used it so much since I bought it. In fact, the day that I got it for my birthday, I washed it out and I used it all day. There's barely been a day where I've not actually used it. Today's one of those days, but I have been using it a lot. Oh, excuse me. And then I also got some micro fine liners, which I really need waterproof ones, because the ink pens I bought, they're not waterproof. They are not waterproof. Oh. And the first time I drew something and put water on them, luckily it didn't ruin the artwork. But, and also I got this as well. I got Moominland Midwinter by Tove Jansson. I absolutely adore the Moomins. I really do, and I absolutely adore the illustrations. My all-time favourite illustrator is Quentin Blake. My second favourite one is Tove Jansson. I need to do a video of my collection of children's books, don't I? Because I've got quite a collection now. But I absolutely love like Folklore and the Moomins. So yes, love it, and I can't wait to read this. I have another one. It's over on there actually. I can put it together with it, which I have read. And I think I may have another Moomin book upstairs. I'm not 100% sure, but this has been on my wish list for absolutely ages, and I got it for my birthday, so I'm really happy. So yeah, so I've been reading when I can, but because I've been suffering from migraine attacks since the heat happened, I've not been able to finish Flowers for Algernon, and I really want to finish that. Like now, I want to see how it ends. So yeah, and I have been watching a lot of YouTube and a lot of TV and films as such. But for TV, I've been watching. My father-in-law kept mentioning how good it was, and I never got around to watching it the first time, and it's on like series 3 or 4, which is the final series. But I have been watching Upstart Crow, which is about Shakespeare, whose time split between London and Stratford-upon-Avon, and just as he's becoming really famous. It's written by Ben Elton, who also did The Young Ones, The Thin Blue Line, which I really like. And so yes, I have been really enjoying that. My daughter's been watching it with me as well. And I'm really sorry, I'm such a child. But for like a whole week, whenever I could get it into conversation, because I learned a new word thanks to the series, I tried to get the word cod tangle into conversation. There's a bit in one of the episodes where Kate, the innkeeper's daughter, who's called Bottom, I wonder what play he ended up in. She's desperate to become an actress, and she keeps bugging Will Shakespeare to do one of his plays. She wanted to play Juliet, but she was told she was not allowed because she was a woman. Women can't do anything. Women are silly. They don't know how to do anything, basically. So there's a bit where she's literally begging Shakespeare to let her do the play. And he turns to her and he says, "Why, Kate, you do not have a cod dangle, so you cannot be in the play." And that just sent me off, and everywhere I could fit it in a conversation, in a sentence, cod dangle got fitted into that sentence. I do want to rewatch The Witchfinder. I loved that. It was brilliant. A lot of people who hadn't seen it, mind you, before it was even aired, complained how you shouldn't make comedies out of exactly what happened with the witch trials because it's really bad. There have been films on Salem and Pendle and things, and historical kind of wonderfully made sensitive films and documentaries, but a comedy series, I have to admit, when I first read it, I was like, how can you can't do comedy with Witchfinders. But it's not that kind of funny. The actress in it who plays the character of, I think it's Gooch. Is it Gooch? She wrote it and starred in it, if I remember right. And the historical research she obviously did, it was brilliant. And it was a viewpoint of how stupid the witch hunts actually were in that period. Because obviously they happened all over for thousands of years, but this particular one, and it is not just about doing it for laughs. There were some genuinely kind of like moments, like, oh my gosh, sort of. And I like what happens to Matthew Hopkins at the end, if only that actually happened. It's brilliant, and I can highly recommend it. Basically, this witch hunter goes to somewhere in the south of England, I think it is, and Gooch, I think she's called Gooch, lives in the village, and she is accused of witchcraft. So for this witch finder to get in the good books of Matthew Hopkins, he insists that she's guilty. She must be. She's been pointed at, accused by the village people. Even though when you're watching it, you can see that there is a reason why these things happened, and she even explains why these things happened. But no, it's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. So he takes her to wherever it is Matthew Hopkins is to put her on trial, but along the way he realises how stupid the witch hunts are. They also end up becoming bonded. It becomes a buddy road trip in a way. And it's what happens when they get to where Matthew Hopkins is and his realisation. It's just fantastic, and I can't recommend it enough. I love the series, and I will be rewatching it again. And when I rewatch it, I can tell you a little bit more of the plot because I can't quite remember everything. I also started watching. Now, I saw the trailers for this, and I was like, oh, I have to watch it. I love folk horror. However, the Gallows Pole. I'm a member of a folk horror revival group on Facebook. They are called the Folk Horror Revival group. It was quite divided. Some said they loved it and some said they hated it, and I thought, I'm going to watch it and find out. I watched the first episode and I'm not watching any more of the series. I really don't like it. It was produced by two rather big film houses. One is A24 and I can't remember who the other one is. And it's directed by Shane Meadows, and I'm not a fan of Shane Meadows. Of anything he really does, he's not my sort of film genre type thing. He did This Is England, the 1980s ones, and then I just didn't like it. I tried, but I'm not against swearing at all. I'm known to swear. But the way that they carried on in the first episode, I'm pretty sure. I know swearing has been around for hundreds, thousands of years, and they probably did swear in that village, but not like that. It was very modern day language in a setting from a very early period. And I don't know whose choice it was to give the women mullets and modern hairstyles, but it didn't work. I don't think it worked. The costumes, they were good. Where it was filmed, I've been there myself. It's an amazing place. It's beautiful. I just didn't like it. It was ad-libbed, and you could tell. I just didn't like it. Personally, me. I mean, you might watch it and like it. You might watch it and dislike it as much as I did. But I won't be watching the rest of it. I'll probably find the book, which was by Benjamin Myers. It's based on the book of the same name, and it's to do with a moment in history in a Yorkshire village, and I can't remember too much more about it. But I didn't like it at all, unfortunately, and it's a shame because the opening scene was amazing! Amazing! And then the rest of it was just, in my opinion, not great. And also, I've been watching, the films I've been watching have been The Immortals, which I have seen before. I've seen it a few times. It was on one night and I wasn't feeling great. I was in loads of pain and I thought, there's nothing else on and I'm bored, this'll do. And it's loosely based on Theseus and the Minotaur. And basically he's a mortal man who's been chosen by the gods to fight King Hyperion. If I remember right, Hyperion, I think, was one of the big things that they had to lock away. I forgot what they're called now. But yeah, I'm almost slightly certain my Greek history is a bit rubbish. My daughter would know. What were they called? The big things. I forgot what they're called now. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he was, I think. And anyway, he's looking for this mythical bow called the Epirus bow. And yeah, all hell breaks loose. And it was directed by Tarsem, who directed The Cell with Vincent D'Onofrio, which is one of my favourite serial killer films. I'm not a big fan of Jennifer Lopez, so I changed the end in my head. I know it's stupid, but the costumes, not historically accurate most of the time, but they were absolutely fantastic, and the plot was brilliant. The Waking Hyperion used he was just evil. He was evil as all hell, literally. He was from hell. And I really enjoyed the film. I enjoy it every time I watch it. So yeah, I can recommend that film if you like Greek mythology, you like history and things loosely based on history. So don't go into it thinking this is historically accurate. It's not. Most of the film is no way historically accurate, but it's interesting. It's really good. I can highly recommend it. I also watched Alligator. I introduced my husband to Alligator. It's from 1980. It's the stupidest film ever, but it's fantastic. It was rated 18. I may have been a little bit younger than that when I watched it. I won't say how, just in case. Because I don't think my dad watches these videos. I was like 14. Plus, it was a long time ago anyway. What's he going to do, ground me? It's about a little girl who is absolutely nuts about reptiles. And her parents buy a little ditty baby alligator from Louisiana swampland. And the dad gets bitten. Because I don't know what he was doing, putting his hand in the tank, idiot. But instead of going, oh, it bit me, he flushes it down the toilet. And then it just goes very wrong from there. And this thing grows and grows and grows and gets really massive because of a specific reason. And then literally all hell breaks loose, and this cop, he's a homicide detective, teams up with a herpetologist to help get rid of the menace that is the alligator. And I think they made at least one more, maybe two, I'm not sure. But there is a sequel, which we are going to be watching within the week. If you want to watch something cheesy, something silly, something fun, with quite a bit of gore. I forgot how gory it was. It's kind of gross. 1980s gore, pretty good. Then please, you have to watch it. I loved it. I hadn't seen it since I was a teenager. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was brilliant. And then I wanted to watch this on my birthday. We were supposed to watch Barbarian and Megan. But as I mentioned in my life update video, my poor husband cut his finger on something vegetable cutting related on Thursday. He was washing it and he really badly cut his finger. So after being in A&E and told he wouldn't be seen till probably the next morning, instead of hanging around in A&E, he came home. And then managed to get him to urgent care, an appointment there, and it was cleaned up and everything. So that was my birthday was spent making sure he was all right, and he was. And it's still a bit sore, but he kind of had another accident and opened it up again. But we dealt with that without A&E. So we didn't get to watch anything. By the time it got to the evening, we were knackered. So I watched Law Lodge. And Dark Asia with Megan, which I will link below. So on the Monday, with this now up, and 2 extras on the side, we watched Barbarian. I don't know how to talk about this. I don't want to spoil it. But basically, it's Airbnb goes very, very, very wrong. It's got Bill Skarsgård in it. And basically this woman, is going for an interview. She goes to this really nice looking house in the pouring rain, pitch black, because she has an interview for a job for a documentary that she wants to work on. And she finds that the keys have already been used. Turns out that it was double booked by accident, and she ends up uneasily spending the night with a new roomie, so to speak, which is Bill Skarsgård. And then it just goes very, very wrong from there. And I can't tell you any more without actually spoiling the plot of the film. So yes, watch Barbarian. It's very good. It's very gross. There's some amazing practical effects. There's great practical effects in Alligator. It's one thing that I don't know if I've mentioned before on my channel. I absolutely love, especially older films, because of practical effects. I love practical effects. I loved The Thing. The practical effects in that are just, oh my god, they're amazing. I'd love to see that big screen if they ever bring it back for an anniversary again. I think they have done once before. I hope they do it again. But yes, it's absolutely fantastic. And the light has shifted. I'm going to put this on. That helps. I'm very sorry about the lighting. Now the camera's gone funny. I'm really sorry. Yeah, maybe I should turn it off again. Ow, 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 ow. I'm sorry if you can't really see me fantastically, but it's a really hot sunny day. So yes. And also, I don't know if I mentioned it at all. I don't know if I've watched it since I've been on break, but I watched for the first time Pumpkinhead with Lance Henriksen. Now, it's about a man and his son who run a store, lives in this very small little dusty town somewhere in middle America, probably by the Appalachians, only guessing because of what happens. And these townies, as they're called, come into town and they cause problems, and there is an accident. It's kind of in the blurb, but his son, something happens to his son, and so he goes to this old Appalachian witch who helps him to bring forth Pumpkinhead to wreak revenge. And this townie's weekend goes from brilliant to very horrendous over a matter of like an hour or so. It's a bit slow at the beginning as it's being set up, but I watched it for the first time not too long ago, and I'd always kind of poo-pooed it because I thought, it just looks really stupid. But you know what? Don't be a film snob. Please watch it. I think it's brilliant. I really enjoyed it. My husband enjoyed it. We both said it was really good. It's very, very 80s, yes. But at the same time, I think it stands up quite well to age. I really did enjoy it. And if you're looking for a silly, stupid comedy version of Theseus and the Minotaur. Kind of. Can I direct you to Your Highness? Yeah, it's just so very lewd, crude, stupid, disgusting, brilliant, funny, hilarious. If you like your humour, like, if you've got the twisted mind of a teenager, it's a film for you. I can highly recommend that one as well. I went to the cinema to see it, and for some reason I didn't quite enjoy it, but then I rewatched it and loved it. Sorry, my hay fever is really playing up. I'm going to end with, because this has been quite a long video, I want to end on studio update. Yes, I'm still trying to get my daughter's bigger room sorted out. The damp problem is almost dealt with. As I said, we're saving for that. Once that's sorted out and I get her room back as a studio, I've decided it's purely going to be an art studio / library. So it's going to have bookcases with lots of books, because if you look at my video, for my life update, all of my books are in boxes at the moment. I did do a massive unhaul, because the books I've unhauled that I need to send to the free bookshopping sale, I did buy them with the intent of reading them. One I did try to read, and I was like, no, I hate to say it, but I kind of started to fall asleep reading it, is Les Miserables, which is not for me. It really isn't for me. I tried to read it. I even have it on Audible. I might listen to it on Audible as background noise when I'm doing stuff. But even listening to it on Audible to read along to, I was bored. I'm sorry. I know people say it's an amazing classic, but I just found it really boring for me. And I've seen the film, I've seen the stage production, not live. I watched it on one Christmas, which I really enjoyed, the West End version. But the book I just found really, really, really long and boring, and I was only, I don't know how many pages in. I was about 10 at least, maybe. So I DNF'd that one. I just didn't like it. And there's no way I would have carried on reading it, because I would have been monumentally bored, and it would have taken me years and years and years to read. So, yeah. So I've unhauled quite a few. I must have unhauled about 10 or 15 books. My daughter's unhauled some of hers as well. Got to take some to her school. I've even done a destash on my wall, because I am downsizing a lot. I'm keeping my sewing machine for textile art only now. I know I have a lot of quilting stuff as well, which I can use elsewhere for textile art. So yes, so that's the idea I have going forward for when I get my studio sorted out. Plaster of Paris, lots of that, and wax dippings and things with fabric and gold leaf, and maybe going back to my folk horror interests when it comes to creating artwork. So I might start doing some illustrations, which may be a little bit creepy, spooky. I did get a sketchbook for my birthday, but it's upstairs. It's a Dilutions one. I'm going to do a review on that one, because I need to do. I also got a load of art supplies, because I was given some money by my father-in-law for my birthday, which was very welcomed, and a little bit of it went on new art materials. The rest of it went on things like Macbeth, which I went to see, and I need to mention that. I went to see Macbeth at Walkden Gardens and thoroughly loved it. Went to see the Duke's Theatre Company, and I even got this is the official tour booklet, and I had a word with the guy selling the booklets, and I said, is there any way I could possibly get maybe the booklet, or I took my Macbeth book with me to get signed, and he said, it's the last show of the season, it's the last show of summer. I said, I appreciate that, I get it, yeah, but I bought the tickets as a birthday gift to myself, and I just wondered if it's at all anyway. But yeah, I get it. And he said, no, leave it with me. And he came back about 20 minutes later. And he said, did you buy a booklet? I said, yeah, I did. He said, I'll swap you. He got the cast to sign it. Oh, because there was obviously quite a few cast. Or should I say the company. He got the company to sign it. I hope you can see that. And 2 of them even wrote happy birthday, which I thought was ever so amazing. And I found them on Instagram and I thanked them so much, and I linked them in my Instagram post, basically saying they'd made my birthday, because my birthday didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. Last year it didn't either. Last year I ended up hospital appointment. So yeah, it was absolutely really, really lovely of them, and I can't thank them enough for signing that, which was absolutely lovely of them. So yeah, so I was watching also Emma Woodthorpe's video from a couple of weeks back, or a week ago. No, it was a couple of weeks, where she had an infestation of something, and she realised that she had to sort out her studio, and I kind of thought, that could be me. I could end up doing that, and I thought, well, if we ever, or when we ever come to move from here to something more manageable, especially for myself, because I'm finding it very hard to handle the house. I have a chairlift that gets me up and down the stairs, and we've been thinking of at some point in the future moving anyway to something smaller. I had all these plans of getting like one of those automatic push a button desk that goes up and down, and so I thought, instead of spending ages saving for said desk, the one that's over there that I bought for my daughter, she wants a specific kind of a desk. So I thought I'd keep that. We'd get her a gaming type one for her room. And I would have dark wood shelves, which is what I would really like, dark wood, if I can, bookcases. Like a mustard coloured walls with shots of navy blue, which I don't know, I just seem to be obsessed with those colours. Maybe a bit of gold here and there. And also minimalist, staying minimalist, keeping things off the floor. I might get a carpet, but I'd have to wait until really before put everything in there. But we need to get everything obviously for my daughter first. And I want to go to Pear Mill in Stockport because they've got some beautiful furniture. It's big. It's on X amount of floors, so it'll take me a while to get around. It's like an old mill, and it's up near where Hobbycraft is in Stockport, as far as I know. So yes, dark woods for the bookcases and the shelving. Obviously buy bookshelves and just varnish them up dark. Keeping as much off the floors as is humanly possible. Yeah, so that's the plan for the studio anyway. I do have a Pinterest board if you want to go and have a look. I can put the link underneath. I have, in one of my previous videos, I shared colours, so when I find them again I can share them here, the kind of colours I'm after. I want to get a really good gaming chair, because I want to start gaming again. I have been playing something called the Happy Game. It's not happy. It's not happy. It's really scary. And I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's last night. I nearly spilled my tea. Made me jump a lot. I only survived up until the second night. I think you're supposed to survive 5 nights. I ain't gonna get 5 nights. No flipping way. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because it's been quite a long video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the lighting. I'll try and put this out during a week after I've, or over, maybe it's Saturday now. So it's Saturday the 28th of June. If you're still here, thank you very much. I will post anyone I've mentioned, anything I've mentioned in the box below. I have been watching so many YouTube channels. I have been watching Tristan and the Classics. I've been watching books I'm not reading, Eva's Literary Parlour. I've been watching Kriksis, Natasha Newton, Sandi Hester, quite a lot of people. The Law Lodge, I've mentioned the Law Lodge, Splattercast, Peter Laws. So yeah, anyone else, because I've been watching so much YouTube, I will put in the box below, but they're just a few of who have been watching and who've kept me sane, kept me smiling, because they do, a lot of them. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there anyway, because it's been a while since I started this, and I need to watch Borderlands, the film of the game, with my daughter. I said 4 o'clock and it's a little bit after that. Plus she's been on Roblox. She's discovered Roblox and FaceTiming with her friends. Yeah, so I'm going to go and do that. Get a cup of tea, get a snack. Anyway, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, and you can find me on Goodreads. And on that note, good reading to you, whatever you are reading, whether it's in sunshine or like me in the dark, because I don't do sunshine very well. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for spending this time with me. And I promise it won't be as stupidly long till my next video. I think my next video will be a wrap up. Also, I want to do a bit of a review of Pen Pal, which I read last year, which was my second favourite book for summer winter Halloween after my best friend's exorcism. I think I might actually do a summer winter Halloween recap. And there will be a summer winter Halloween video this year as well, but I won't be reading as much, and yeah, plans, ideas, they're coming up. So thank you again for spending this time with me. I'll see you again very soon. Stay safe, stay cozy, stay warm or cool in this weather, because it's blinking boiling. And I will see you all again very soon, hopefully. Thanks for putting up with me, my lack of posting, which I'm hoping will start to change. We'll see. I will see you all again very soon. Again, stay safe, stay happy reading. So I'll see you later. Bye bye everyone. Bye.